Russian State Duma has passed the bill dubbed the Internet Isolation Law. Lawmakers claim that it will help ensure Russia's security online, although critics claim it's an attempt at censorship. Earlier, my colleague Jacqueline Vuga has discussed the initiative with our correspondent Maria Fenoshina.
It's called the Bill on Sovereign Internet, and it is aimed at creating domestic, totally independent internet here in Russia as a measure, the lawmakers behind this document say, to protect the country from cyber attacks, from cyber threats. Well, technically this means that if Russia one day is cut off from the global network, it will still be able to function, to operate without being affected. The authors of this bill say that this is simply a response to America's 2018 strategy on national cybersecurity that they found aggressive. This is their word. It is supposed to come into force later in November this year, but it still has to be approved by the Parliament's upper chamber, the Federation Council, and then signed into law by Russia's president, which will likely happen with no delay, with no problem, with Vladimir Putin known as a big fan of the idea of independent internet here in Russia, believing that it is totally in the interests of the Russian people.
Now, cybersecurity is, of course, very important these days, but critics claim that this could lead to Russia's isolation online and will help state censorship. Are they right to be concerned?
Well, there are critics of this bill, even among the State Duma deputies here in Russia. They say that it will allow censorship, that it will become the government's instrument to put more control, more regulation on online life. And technically, yes, it will give Russia's governmental institutions, watchdogs, whoever will be responsible for that, more authorities, more technical options, more power to control the internet. But again, as the supporters of this bill say, it's all for the sake of the country's national security.
Legislators say that this law is aimed at protection from external cyber threats that could theoretically paralyze the internet in the country. Do those fears have any grounds? Well,
many believe that these fears are quite real. Early in February, the American newspaper Washington Post published an article claiming that the US military had once, back in 2018, managed to block one Russian group from internet access just because they believed it was dangerous, it was involved in the alleged interference in the American elections. So that is quite serious. And that article cited a number of US high-ranking officials, with no names given though, claiming that that was just the beginning of a massive cyber campaign against Russia. Well, if these claims are real and these threats are real, from the Russian authorities' point of view, it absolutely makes sense to protect the country, including by introducing this law.